I came back in 1985, March, on holidays to Mangalore. It so happened Mr. Vinay Hegde and N.R. Shetty was retired as a vice chancellor of Bangalore University. At that time, he was a professor in KREC, our Mangalore Engineering College. And they came to my sister-in-law's place where I was living in Balmata. They asked that we are starting a dental college. We got an order in 1984. This year we want to start a college. Will you come as a principal of the college? I just thought why I should come back. Now I'm getting a much more salary and benefits, freeness, tickets, everything from that country. We used to get even children education allowance, housing free, all everything. It was a for us. It was a much more than what we were earning here. At least many times. But should I come back here? Then I was in two minds. Immediately, I could not tell them. I said I will tell you in 1 or 2 days. I said, and then finally, my mother-in-law, she said, "Why do you want to go to a country like Africa and all? They are starting. Our own people are starting a dental college here. Why don't you come back?" My co-brother, he took me to one astrologer in Pavanjay. So he said, "You ask him." I didn't want to go. He took me there. So we are there. He has got a. We don't ask what is our question. He will put some cowardice and then calculate and other things. He said, "See, you are offered to become a principal of one Ankura. Ankura means just
Yes.
starting a college. You join. For them also, it will be very good. This is what he did." Then again, I was in little thought again because you have to leave everything and come. No, it is what they will give it this place for us. And finally, I decided, yes, I will come. So on May, they took me as a principal of the college, but I was not ready to say that it is official because I have to resign in Khartoum University and then only I can make it as official. So I started the college. So they have such a confidence that I will become a principal and I make a college. I want to make a college with difference. And then, so we started our college. I got an appointment letter for the July 9th of 1985. Then, of course, I remember in a council or university or even in places, people were known to us. So it was a smooth sailing in spite of a lot of obstructions coming from other institutions. But the first batch of a student, we had admitted only 40 students. Then, of course, all those students, by our methods and other things, all the students, we got 100% result. All 10 ranks came from the Mangalore University for our college. So a lot of criticism for us. We are doing malpractice. It's usually happens for a people. Even a registrar of Mangalore University at that time, he gave a paper statement that we are giving liberal marks in internal assessment and other things like that. I said, why can't they have the other two? I called the registrar evaluation. I asked him, why you make a paper statement like this? You are an officer. If you have done it, you should suspend the students. Examination should be held somewhere else, not with our student, not in our college. Why are you making a paper statement being a responsible officer? Actually, I shouted at him like that. And of course, it is all happened. When I got myself matured, we have put lot of discipline for students. My first principle in students is because nowadays all students who are coming are all from the unitary family, not from joint family.
Yeah.
They are rich. They are using toilets for a bedroom independently. They don't clean the toilet. They don't clean the bed. All these things are, they have grown up like that, and they have already in a hostel in some college. Rich people, and they have already got into the bad habits of drugs and other things. No, in the schools also I'm talking about this. They are you may say ಚಾಪೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ರಂಗೋಲಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ like this. But they were all much more smarter than us probably doing all this. So my first thought is that anything I do about the discipline, their habits, their way of living, first parents. I want to sandwich student between a parent and a teacher. So I tell them, no extravagancy in the life, no cars, no vehicles, not staying outside in hotels or some other guest houses and other things. Always, all of them should be in the hostel. They should know how to live in with the people, with the common toilets, common bathrooms. This is the first lesson. That is to the parents I'm talking about. Then no extravagance in the life. They should only give pocket money. If anything is required for them more than that, I will give them and take you back from the parent. This is what I tell with the parents. First I used to have a parents and students together, a meeting. Then they should read only standard textbooks, no notes and other things. And I have got my own way of dealing with the faculty. So first and foremost thing is no extravagancy in the life. This is how from the first year itself, I started a discipline for the students. So those days, they were all living in the rented hostel and all. So I used to go personally and meet them every time and all those things. Then finally, our college become very popular, not because the students are getting ranks. Students are morally corrected. Students are morally corrected. Because of that, they are doing better in their studies. So like this, for me, always I say that no student is a bad student for me. No student is a bad student for me. So this is know your student before you teach. This is my slogan for parents or students. Now when we went to the campus, when we went to the campus, I made one experiment of telling making the students better in their studies and clinical practice. I made a form. I take a lecture. Student has to write down in that form how much is understood from the topic in my lecture. He can bluff. To please me, he may say 90%. Or somebody may say that he doesn't like me, so he may make 10%. That's bluffing I'm talking about. Or really it may be true. And we don't check that. Then they are supposed to go and read that chapter or that portion of a lecture in the standard textbook, which you always say, which are the standard textbooks. And then they should write how much they have understood this. If possible, they can discuss with their classmate, understand how much they have understood also. Now, when I continue that chapter, in the end of the chapter, I have to make 10 multiple questions. At the end of the class, I will have to put it and ask them to answer it. When they answer it, they can bluff. So after some time, we put the answer and they can correct themselves. Right? So this is the way I give opportunity for them to bluff and make mistake or reality for them. Now, when the chapter is over, the person who has taught a teacher, the teacher who has taught the chapter, he has to conduct a chapter test. In that, what is the mark? Now, all the students are distributed because we have a lot of faculties are there. A 5 student in a class is for personal supervision and monitoring. 5 students. So he has to see every day all these activities. When the chapter test is done, we have the actual knowledge what he has got. So now we have a meeting once a month for the whole class. Meeting, head of the department, subject teachers, then physical director, hostel warden, and I will be chairing the meeting. Only concerned professor of that subject will be there. So he has called rules for that in the meeting. Don't blame a student. What solution you have for the student? This is what, because he is not reading, I don't want that blame and all. What is the solution you have for the student? So then everything is, I just tell them, see, this is an institution where people are getting ranks and other things. You have to be one among them. You have to improve yourself. Like that, I will first. Second meeting, I will be little harsh on them. Third meeting, of course, I will be very, very harsh on them. No, this is what we are, how I have planned. Now, another thing I did for students is Monday to Saturday, they have to sit in the library. After those days, at 2:30 our classes is going to be over because we are in Devlakata campus. They have to sit in a classroom, library, prepare para-wise MCQ questions. Para-wise MCQ questions. And when they have prepared, Monday is one subject, second day, like that, there are all subjects are covered on 5 days. These MCQ questions which they have prepared, they are given instruction how they have to prepare are also MCQ. And it is not supervised by any faculty or anything. Librarian, because night time in the librarian, he supervises their presence and chit chatting and other things, all those things he will not allow. So once it is over, that subject teacher or a professor, he has to put all the students together, see that questions and refine the MCQ question. These MCQ questions are put in a computer. 100 questions, because it is reduced to 100 questions, and he has to go, he can appear and exam any time. Suppose after answering it, he has not 50 questions, it is not 100 questions, 50 questions are put in the computer, they go and appear, and if they have failed, immediately the result will come. If they are missed any other, so they can attempt 2-3 times till they become perfect. Now, this is how I made a learning them. This has given a good advantage for them for YOOC and as especially YOOC. Now, then we have a sessional test for a students, the regular university format of this one. So like that, we go on doing it. Even in the clinical steps, see, in our university, one of the, in all universities, in any subjects, I think, one of the biggest way of examination is very poor, is that in practicals of the university examination, we don't give the complete, especially in our faculty, complete practical aspects, because it's not possible. So what I have suggested for all my students, they have to make a record of the patients who they are treated, record of the lab work what they have done. They have to do it and present it to head of the department every month. that patient whom they are treated. There may be a chance somebody may be doing it, but head of the department will know what is that what he has done. So like this, their clinical examinations are performed. Actually, in the Rajiv Gandhi University, when I was the dean of the faculty, I introduced the examination for all postgraduates that they must make a record of their clinical work, what they have done. On that, 25 marks should be allotted during the viva. After presenting it to the examiners, 25 marks on each the clinical aspects are divided the mark. I don't know whether people are still doing it, but this is what I made a examination. So with this, what has happened? My students, not only they are theoretically they were good, they were excellent in their clinical work, which is more important for them during their practice. So this is an experiment I have done, and it was very successful. So this is my teaching module for all this one. What happened? A teacher is improved his lecture, students improved their result, and believe it or not, sir, in my college, those who are admitted for the 50% mark, rich or poor boy or a girl, they all have improved their examination performance more than 60% of marks, both in theory and practical, in university examination. And most of the we used to have a 100% result, but some people used to fail in one or two subjects or another thing. And this one, drug, for example, a drug addict student, because nowadays a lot of students come to join the college, drug addict students. The first identification of such student is missing the class. So I call them, ask them, why you have missed the class? Sir, stomach pain. I used to ask him and say, stand and raise your hand like this. Now, of course, my hand is a little shaking. Hand like this. All these people, either they are nervous or because they are taking a drug, they start shaking, no? I said, yes, I know that you are taking a drug. Stop it. Like that, I used to catch people drinking, or I used to go to the bar in the night. And I don't shout at my students there. I shout at the bar manager. If you give any alcohol to my students, I will write to the authority to cancel your license. I used to threaten him there like that. This is a way that I used to control people with the discipline. My experience in this one is very, very long in A.B. Shetty Memorial Institute of Dental Sciences. I retired and then I continued as a director there. So when I reached my 80 years old, Vinayak said enough is enough. So I retired from him because almost 21 years as a principal of college, and finally I continued as a, because all those people respect me and all those things, but I cannot interfere in the administration of a college because it's not right. So anyhow, up to 80 years of my age, I worked there. And
so many happy returns of the day.
Thank you, sir.